Akim Olufemi Gbajabiamila. God bless you all.
Glad to have you join us again on a fresh edition of the program House Tickets. My name is Rashida Abubakar, standing in for your regular anchor. The second batch of members-elect had their induction last week to prepare them for the task ahead. As a result, the House only sat for 1 day last week, during which it considered letters from the President as well as petition. Details from that one-day plenary as well as reports from the Induction Center makes up this episode of House Tickets. We also have a report of a meeting from the Committee on Health. Stay tuned for the details after the break.
The entire purpose of the legislative agenda is to direct our legislative resources and efforts in a coordinated effort to ensure the well-being of the individual in a life of safety and freedom. That is a high ambition, but it's well worth the effort. We have passed landmark legislation to fix our oil and gas industry, reform the police, and reorganize the corporate administration system in our country. We have considered and passed meaningful legislation that impacts all areas of our national life.
We'll begin the program with the report on plenary proceedings held last week. 2 letters were received from President Muhammadu Buhari. The first letter was a request for approval for additional financing of the National Social Safety Net program by the National Assembly.
The program is intended to expand coverage of shock-responsive safety net support among the poor and vulnerable Nigerians, and this will assist in coping with the costs of meeting basic needs. You may wish to note that the federal government of Nigeria, under the conditional cash transfer window of the program, will transfer the sum of 5,000 naira per month to 10.2 million poor and low-income households for a period of 6 months, with a multiplier effect of about 60 million individuals. In order to guarantee the credibility of the process, digital transfers will be made directly to beneficiaries and mobile wallets.
The other letter forwarded the Federal Fire and Rescue Service Establishment Bill 2022 for the consideration of the House of Representatives.
The Federal Fire and Rescue Service Establishment Bill aims to establish and provide legal and institutional framework for the fire and rescue service. Whilst hoping for the bill to be considered for passage in your usual expeditious manner, please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurance of my highest regard. Muhammad Buhari.
Both letters from the President were referred to the relevant committee of the House. On petitions, Honorable Onofiak Luke presented a petition from a professional whose appointment was wrongfully terminated by the Nigerian Railway Corporation. The petitioner is seeking the intervention of the House to get justice.
Mr. Speaker, I have a petition here against the Nigerian Railway Corporation, written by a staff engineer, Paddy Anekan Ukwe, who is petitioning this House for the wrongful termination of his appointment. Mr. Speaker, if it pleases you, may I please lay the petition, sir?
The petition was referred to the House Committee on Public Petition. After this, the House adjourned to allow members who were going to be part of the 10th Assembly attend the induction and training being organized for them. This followed a motion on the matter by Honorable Ibrahim Isiaka. He was supported by other lawmakers.
I want to come under Order 6, 1 and 2. Thank you for granting the 2, because the 2 states that whenever a matter of privilege arises, it shall be taken into consideration immediately. My point of order is that today, as we speak, induction program is ongoing at the ICC Center, sir, which I'm privileged together with other members, to be part of Batch B. Last week, because of this same program, the House, the plenary was not in session. But today, because of the plenary, I have to be here while this program is ongoing, and I cannot be properly accommodated on the program at the induction ground. That's why I'm coming under matter of privileges, order 6, 1, 2, 3.
There's never been a time, because of induction, the House suspends plenary. And I don't know the rate of attrition in terms of those who are now back into the House, compared to the people who are now not returning, that will have to adjourn the House because of induction. I think there are many tribal issues in the country that we need to face and tackle. We are winding up.
If we had not done that for the first batch, there won't be basis for this. So I want to appeal that if the training is ending on Friday, 2-3 days is not, it's one day. Today is what? Today is Wednesday. Thursday is the only sitting day. Friday we don't sit. I want to appeal that we do sincerely adjourn and allow those who are privileged to be part of that training benefit from what is expected.
We did so for the first batch last week, and that is only fair that those who are in the second batch be allowed to go for the induction.
Mr. Speaker, sir, if this privilege had been given to the people in Group A, it should be given to us. It's not right for us to be seated there while new materials are being given out every day of that training. And this program was fixed for us or put in place for us by this same House.
The second batch finished their induction. Please say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it.
Thank you for staying with us on House Tickets. The program continues with proceedings from the committee room, where the House and Senate Joint Committees on Health Service interface with resident doctors who are on strike. Details of this meeting in our next report. Do keep watching.
Good morning, distinguished Senator. Good morning to you all. Members.
As part of effort to find solution over the 5-day warning strike embarked upon by resident doctors across the country, the National Assembly and the leadership of the National Association of Resident Doctors have extensively discussed on the matter.
We are coming in based on our constitutional mandate and role.
Chairman Senate Committee on Health, Senator Ibrahim Oloriegbe, explains why the lawmakers called for the interface.
We call this meeting to intervene as representative of the people of Nigeria on the ongoing strike being embarked upon by National Association of Resident Doctors. And we are coming in based on our constitutional mandate and role. As they said in the palace, when two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffer. One elephant is the doctors who are resident doctors. The other one is the government as represented by the executive. And the people that are suffering is us, Nigerians, who are the grass now.
Senator Ibrahim Oloriegbe further advised the doctors to consider the transition period that the country is in, saying the time of the strike must be reconsidered.
The time we are in this country, in our government process, is a transition period. The current government will transit the next 2 weeks. In America, where we copy what we are using, they call such a period lame duck period. It's lame duck because the concentration, the affairs of the government now is focused on how do we hand over. So any issues now would be, you don't expect a government that is going to start making commitments or these things. 2, you don't expect an incoming government that is just coming, even if government is a continuum, to say we have taken everything that started to us, like 8 line and sinker. As doctors who are well educated, we are supposed to be able to have recognized this. This is what we discussed with the president, to say that if you look at the period, it's an inappropriate period to say you are going to strike.
Thank you for inviting us to this meeting.
While presenting the reasons for the strike, President of the National Association of Resident Doctors, Dr. Innocent Oji, said poor salaries, working condition and lack of manpower at hospitals are affecting the efficiency of the health system in Nigeria.
And we have several engagements with government on this because people are living in droves. Right now, if you interface with our chief medical directors, they will tell you that several departments in many hospitals are shut down because they do not have doctors again to man them. And Nigerians are dying already because of this. On the 7th of July last year, we wrote a letter to the Honorable Minister of Health and copied all the relevant stakeholders requesting for upward review of the consolidated medical salary structure with other associated allowances. That letter was not replied. However, sometime towards the end of last year, the Honorable Minister of Labour promised us that a committee will be set up by the Federal Ministry of Health to discuss on the upward review of the consolidated medical salary structure.
Dr. Innocent said the association is also not happy for its exclusion in key decision-making that affect their working environment.
If it is service-wide,
A robust discussion on issues of brain drain, release of training funds, among others, ensued between the lawmakers and members of the association.
I think let me offer an explanation here. That is also part of the negotiation we had with Nat'l at the House of Rep. When initially you are being paid by sourcing money from service-wide board, Nat'l objected to that you needed a budget line for that. Is that so? And then we now look at the Medical Residency Training Act that domicile everything with National Postgraduate College. Those of you that are around, when we reached that discussion was the day the University of Justinian Hospital sacked almost 21 doctors. You recall that? And you said there was no implementation of Medical Residency Training Act, of which at that meeting, we directed that it should be immediately reappointed, and it was done. And also you insisted that's what you want. And then that was the time we now agreed that the responsibility of payment of Medical Residency Training Fund should now be domiciled with National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. And that's when ERGP line was created for that purpose.
Sir, the budget for 2023 MRTF is in the budget line of the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, 9 billion something. Now, we have always advocated that because the exam and the updates that our members need this for, you have the March, April, May updates, you have the September, October, November. So in the meeting we referenced, we requested that this money should be paid within the first quarter of the year so that it will help those who have exam that early period to use it. Now, sir, we are not even adamant on that. What happened was that we are assured that the budget line, or we are told that the budget line for 2023 MRT has not started, that we should wait till March.
They will pay them in March, in February. That's what he said. That the money will be paid in March. It wasn't paid. April came, it wasn't paid. That's why they are, and then it is going on. It's what Honorable is saying that we have to do. That's why I want to give a directive. I want to check how it is. For this kind of funding, it will be better to have a streamlined guideline between health and finance.
Actually, I've engaged with Nat'l in several occasions as it affects virtually 2020 MRTF, 2021 MRTF, 2022 MRTF, and 2023 MRTF. We have paid them all the MRTF except 2023 MRTF, and it's going to be paid by the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria. We have made progress. There's a document the Budget Office requested on the total number of resident doctors in Nigeria. We have compiled this document, and we're taking this document to the Budget Office.
There are departments that have up to 10, 20 consultants. As of today, they don't have 3 or 4. And burnout syndrome is serious. And I know I've made it clear at the peak of the COVID when I appeared before the channels that what we are going to have is not going to be a brain drain, but it's going to be a brainstorm. As we went for a oversight function at Nursing Council. In 1 month, we lost 1,700 nurses, the overseas. In 1 year, we have calculated a total of almost 18,000 nurses that left this country. It's there in record. So I think that is even that one supposed to give us a point to act fast.
At the end of the hearing, the committee chairman spoke on the way forward.
As you look, of course, 5 of the man relates to federal, 2 is to states, and 1 is about a proposed bill. And I think from it, the key 2 ones that I can say are critical are the issue of one-on-one replacement related to brain drain. And on this, we have an agreement that the government has already finalized the guideline on that. It's just the release of circular. So the meeting resolved that the head of service of reparations to ensure that within the next 1 week, the circular on the agreement of one-on-one replacement in the health sector is released. The other one is on the issue of the payment of the medical resident training fund, which ought to have been paid. So we gave directive on this also. They said the matter is before the Minister of Finance, and we resolved that this committee will be writing the Minister of Finance and the Budget Office to ensure that within 1 week, the fund is paid to the resident doctors. The other last issue, which is critical, is the issue of the commerce review, which the government has said they have accepted and have agreed an upward review. So what the doctors are demanding is the release of circular, and this also we agree within 1 week, the government will release a circular on this.
Also answering questions from journalists, President of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, Dr. Innocent Orji, said the next step of action will be announced by the Executive Council of the association.
We are already on strike, but we know that it's a 5-day strike. We are supposed to take stock by Monday, this is part of what we are going to use to assess the response of government. Like you heard me say after the meeting, we are committed to summoning our National Executive Council meeting in the next 48 hours to brief them on this development. And we are confident that they will make the right judgment at the end of the day.
The resident doctors across nearly 80 tertiary facilities across Nigeria commenced a 5-day warning strike on Wednesday, the 17th of this month, to press home their demands.
Our last report is from the induction venue, where incoming legislators of the 10th Assembly were trained on effective representation and what to expect as federal lawmakers. House Ticket spoke to a cross-section of them. Let's hear their views and their opinions.
Laurette Mohammed Idris, member-elect representative.
The induction for the incoming lawmakers for the 10th National Assembly has been concluded in Abuja. The sessions featured lectures from past legislators, security personnel and experts in various sectors of the economy, during which the next set of lawmakers were indoctrinated about their roles, responsibilities, as well as expectations from the electorate.
Lawmaking is a serious business, and that is why we are here today. And we have experience with this is the meat. This is the meat. This is the crux. This is the life of what we've been doing the last how many days. If you don't understand, if you don't appreciate today, this session, then you don't have any business in the National Assembly.
The presiding officer will take every clause and ask the question, will this clause be part of the bill? Those in favor say aye, those against say nay. If you say aye, he will take it. If you say nay, if the nays are more, that clause is expunged from that bill, do not go as part of the bill.
Some lawmakers bear their minds about the induction exercise.
The induction is very educative. It has been very resourceful. We have learned a lot, even though I've been in the National Assembly, but a couple of new things I have learned that will be useful to me in the legislative process.
Actually, to my mind, the induction will expose all the legislators to the gimmicks, the rules, regulation governing the activities of the National Assembly, and it will give you an upper hand if you attend to the program attentively, you concentrate on the programs. It will give you an upper hand on understanding the rudiments, the operating procedure of the National Assembly.
Yeah, it's a good one for us returning. I think it's I even enjoy it more based on experience. Like even the newcomers will now go back and be reading books, but this is from experience, and I gain more experience. Education is a continuous process, and it's very informative and really nice.
They also spoke about the legislative plans at the 10th Assembly.
For the bills, I am grassroots oriented. I love bills that affect the common man. I don't like fantastic, bills. I love realistic bills. So I'm going to propose bills that would uplift the life of the common people in our society. So I definitely, the poverty is high. So we'll make laws that will be that'll bring back life to the rural areas and also to the less privileged.
A lot of bills I'll bring up. Federal Medical Center in my place, Federal College of Agriculture. Our people have been deprived of development, so I'll be their voice, and as we go on, I will do a lot of legislation which I will sponsor for the betterment of our people.
Ibrahim Mohammed.
High point of the event was presentation of certificates to participants at the end of the induction.
Mogu Matthew.
A dinner was also organized for the lawmakers as part of events marking the end of the induction.
And that's our program for today. Join us again for more reports from the Green Wing of the Legislature. Always remember to visit our social media platforms to direct your comments and questions, and even watch previous episodes of the program. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.